Okay, so I learned okay, so I learned something from that first episode. I actually learned a few things. One, I need to check on my video quality because video quality seemed to be pretty poor. Um, Working on that, looking at that last video, it just pixelated all over the place. Wasn't very happy with that. So I've upped the bit rate on this recording, and I rescaled the output to shoot for a good solid 1080p. With those settings in mind, and a bit of time going by since the last time I recorded anything, let's have a look around. So you may remember the potatoes here that go down through there, the pigs, the cows, and the sheep. But then there's this large building over here, which now houses a tree farm. So inside here we have Ilmango's four-way tree farm. It will do 4 different types of trees very simply. Small modification. It didn't include the piston up here with a button to switch back and forth between oak and all the other tree types. It'll do spruce. It will do oak. It will do birch, and it'll do single jungle trees. And it goes up to, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks high of wood. Pushes over, goes in behind this wall. There's a glass chamber over here. You can actually take this up. And this always scares me because if you just so much as tap a piece of scaffolding, it falls apart. Yeah, as you can tell from the view from above and the lack of a lip across this end up here, we definitely need to get a roof put in on top of all of this. So that's on the to-do list shortly. Oh, a little mob village over here, it seems. Ooh. Ew. And yes, those were bees that you saw back there. Yes, I know. Come on, Complex. Get off your butt. Show us around. Don't be hiding things. So there's those bees up there, and then in this little house, which we'll take a look in just a minute, I have a bunch of hives where I've been breeding up some bees. So here I am inside the bee-locked, like an airlock for bees, bee breeder. And here we have all of the individual beehives where I can release the bees by removing these trap doors. They will all pop out, swarm around, collect their pollen, and then pop back into their hives. Or I can pull a hive out of here and bring it somewhere else where I need bees. And this is the micro honey farm, just because it's relatively small. This is actually a design I got watching a video from ImpulseSV. Him and one of his patrons put together this design. There's a dispenser up here with bottles. There's a dispenser on the other side with shears. And depending on the state and how much you have in here and which direction you flip this lever will determine what you get down below. And here, this is extra storage. This is honey in honey bottles, and this would be honeycomb if I was switching the switch to select honeycomb. Oh, getting dark, gotta sleep, be right back. Oh, I guess it was a good idea to go to sleep. That zombie got a little close. So you may have noticed a few additions to the house. This really hasn't changed much. But I do collect a few more banners and got a head and a couple banners over here. They seem to be pretty regular villager patrols, or the pillagers, right? Pretty regular pillager patrols. That's another thing. This path, you'll notice it goes right through the crops. Yes, it does. And it comes up here and it's too wide, and it travels up this way and comes around past here and goes out this way, and from here it continues on out in that direction all the way out until you reach the Savannah village, where I have the villager breeder and the single cell iron farm. Oh, and I almost forgot this thing right here. Yes, they magically appeared. This a little redstone contraption for collecting tulips. It's mostly manual. It's partially automatic. And it's very, very loud. So hang on a second. And let's flip this sucker on. One needs tweakage. You know, really haven't gone into the nether with you guys yet. Probably should do that. In fact, I actually built a tunnel to another portal on the Mushroom Island. Come check it out. Wow. It's just some stone and some stone brick. And these are half slabs so that nothing spawns inside of the tunnel. Of course, there's room here for spawns. And I'm sure I'll end up with some pigmen. But that gets me through here. And down here, where I have been a little bit busy. Okay, let me get away from that nether portal because it's awfully noisy. But as you can see, I've built myself a bit of an abode. This is my storage room. So yes, technically this would be the shed. And the house is going to be up on the hill. But here is all my storage, and I've broken down like dirt and sand over there. This is all nether stuff. This is planned to be all end stuff, all wood stuff, all stone stuff, all ore related, ore based stuff. There's a few diamonds in there. There's a few diamonds over here. So that ice boat road that I was mentioning, I showed you the start of it. This is the other end of it. So it does go all the way down there. And there's a little bit of overstock storage down here, but I made a decision not to do that. This is so cool coming up one of these pipes, especially a long one like that. So on this side, I have, oh, you know what? There's a sign, we should read it. It says bulk storage sorter, or sorted, right? And over here, when you step off, you'll see it's maintenance access only sorter redstone. Sorter redstone is going to live up in this section of it. And then all the storage is going to be below this area. So this will be a floor. Oh yes, you should probably get a good look at this place because I really did not go through it very well earlier on. You can see here there's you see the skylights, the lighting up there. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to work on this mushroom island. I like the way the lighting works in here, and I don't have to have a light every 6 blocks to keep creepers out of my house. And I think that's a nice thing. I think there should be a way to easily spawn-proof a section of area without disrupting the blocks themselves. There was a way to turn every single block into, say, a tile. That's an idea. Hey, Mojang, listen up. You know how you have carpets for wool? So if I make, see, I have wool over here, right? No, that's terracotta. I have wool somewhere. This is wool. Okay. So I take 2 pieces of wool and I make 3 carpets. Well, what if I take 2 pieces of diamond block? I put 2 diamond blocks in here side by side, and you give me a certain amount of diamond tile. And I can lay those tiles out on the floor just as if they were carpet, except they have the diamond pattern on. That would be game changing, because then it wouldn't matter what you made your floors out of. You could just tile them. So it finally stopped raining, and I can come outside and show you this side where I've already started doing some landscaping. I've come around here, come around the front of this. I'm not completely happy. I want something, just a little something over top of this window to keep me a little bit more confident that nothing's going through it. All right, so that's just a tool bench and some supplies for working out in the yard. That'll go away. There's the lake on this side. Like Llama Man has come to visit. Go check him out. I put some bamboo up in here, and I used some string to control the growth height, so those are as tall as they're gonna get. I wanted to have that sense of small tree, but I didn't want them down in my face leafy. I wanted to still have the stick here, and these ones are about as low as I think go. See, there's the string. All right. What do you got for sale? Really? 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 A little pricey, don't you think? Maybe some other time. So I've procrastinated this thing long enough. It's time that I put the lid up on top of it and did something with this so that it didn't look so flat. So I'll be right back. And there we go. Not too bad, honestly. Filled in fairly well. I guess maybe more of a distance would give a better perspective on how that looks. How is it from over here? Yeah, see, that's not too bad. Get a little lighting in there, maybe a little, I don't know, some accents or something. This side's looking good. I'm gonna fall in that big hole. It's all good. Gives you kind of an open perspective on the front. It's a lot less tight here. So since this wasn't actually planned to be a building, I'm going to use it as a series of design templates. So I kind of like the way that looks. Kind of like the way that looks as separate entities. Okay, also, I mean, you're looking at 5 stories. So, and I like the openness on this for more of an industrial type building. The other one looks more residential to me. And then if you come down on this side and look at it from here, that also does have maybe a commercial or office space type vibe to it. I did leave one column where I did every other break, so I didn't put those in, just to give that that vertical sense to it with the dotted line next to it here. It looks really like this is meant to be a long vertical space, like an elevator or storage silo, kind of what it is. And from this side, I get almost warehousey feel. Not quite residential. Like this middle area could be residential, or if I put balconies coming off of all of these, that could be residential with the balcony, and you get this space. Apartment takes up this space, and this is your balcony. I don't know. Perhaps. We'll see. But I'm just happy that this thing is pretty much done and out of the way and not looking like the big ugly eyesore that it was. Okay. So I got a little ambitious. And not only did I finish that, but then there's that. Come for a swim. I'm down here underwater. And you will find there is a triple lime chunk. Three chunks in a straight line. So long I can stand here and the farm starts working. So it's working the whole time that I'm up there doing stuff. And I built this before I started making this video. So it's kind of bonus here. It's essentially the platform where the slimes can spawn, and they run out to try to kill the golems, and they fall to the bottom, and they get pushed up against the magma blocks, and the golems at the bottom get to finish them off. And all of that is got a minecart, hopper minecart running underneath it, picking up all of the drops as they roll up to the edge. I really got to get feather falling on these boots. So here's the minecart. And if for any reason it ever gets stuck, oh, there it goes. Yep. Goes down that way 3 chunks, picks up anything, and brings it all back here. And it goes into this chest, this chest, that chest. And there's nothing fancy back there. They're just the dropper. open the slime balls up into the hoppers to fill the boxes. So just to kind of appreciate the magnitude of all of this, I dug out 3 chunks. You could probably see it better from the second chunk. So I dug out 3 chunks this deep. The next layer under that runs to the bedrock, which is where the storage system is running. And put all of these guys in, and did it without a beacon. No, I still do not have a beacon. I still have not gone to the Nether Fortress to try to buff it a little bit so that I can get more or less a functional wither skeleton farm. Yes, I hear you, bubbling death. But what are you going to do about it? Huh? Nothing. You're going to sink back to the ocean floor and go about your business because I'm no longer in the water. Have a nice day. Alrighty, so I am really sitting here reviewing some of these clips, and I'm looking at the video content and audio, and I'm wondering when I'm going to get past this awkward, I don't know what the heck to say, stage of the game, because obviously I gotta kind of know what the heck it is that I'm doing out here, right? So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more upbeat and a little bit more me, not so reserved and quiet, and we'll see how that works out. All right, in the meantime, I'm gonna head back over that way to the base that's over there on that Mushroom Island, and we'll check out a few more things that I haven't shown you yet. All right, be right back. Okay, here we are back at the Mushroom base. I think that's the easiest way to call it something simple, is a Mushroom base, because it's on the Mushroom Island. And you can see I got a little landscaping back in here. Not quite sure if we looked at this already, but the thing that I was a little bit more interested in showing off is what's in front of me, which is this pen of mushrooms. And I had no idea. I mean, honestly, I've been playing this game since 1.7, and I have never ever seen a brown mushroom. Didn't have any idea that they even existed. And then I found a couple of them over there, and I dragged them over here, threw them in this little pen. The idea here is I have this little map that I made up. It's 4 individual maps here. Pull one off here. You can see this is the overhead of the house, the base, the storage system, this little pen that's right next to me. And off to the left here is this little lake area over here that runs out in that direction. To the north, there's an ocean, so that's pretty much the border of where I'm going to build out to is the edge of the Mushroom Island out here. I do have to get some more maps so that I can get the entire Mushroom Island on a map. I do want to make some large maps at some point so that it's easier to figure out what I'm going to do where and get a good aerial view of the whole island. And what I'm planning on doing with these mushrooms, don't walk through the map, is up here, there's a hill. My initial thought is fill in a lot of this lake and then use this field space so I can have 2 separate fields of free range mushrooms inside of a fenced in area that's very large. I don't want to make one of these little cram all your cows into one little space, and even this right here is a little crowded for my liking. I want them to be able to roam relatively free, And then when I need a little steak, I can just go in and get a little steak and grab a little wheat and feed them and breed them, right? So right now I'm going to get a bit of an overstock. There you go. You're all good. So that way when I start moving them out, I'll have a decent number out there and I'll be able to get several of them to breed pretty easily. Another thing I did was this sign is actually a giant sign of signs. And I'm doing a to-do list of the different farms that I need to start building here on the Mushroom Island base. So there's my cactus farm I'm going to need for cactus and green dye. I'm going to need bamboo and a furnace array, and I'm planning on powering the furnace array with the bamboo. I need a sugarcane farm. I need to get the red mushrooms and brown mushrooms in their respective fields. And once I get that all done, then I can start working on a little bit more complicated projects. Over there is the extension to my base from the storage room. This area over here, of course, is all the storage. There's a hallway that comes up and goes that way. There's nothing inside right now. We can go over and take a quick look. Okay, I'm just going to jump down. And I guess I can look at what I'm going to do. I put a little bit of landscaping out here with some roses. Did a little grass in this area and a pathway through. This comes around. There's an opening here that goes upstairs to the second story. There's an opening here that's going to come out this way to a small amount of lawn. This is going to come over this way and then that way and go up and around. Of course, you've got Turtle Bay over there. You've got the hallway coming up from the storage room there, up into here. A little bit of leftovers from doing the original construction. I will get some furnishings in here and get this laid out. And then upstairs, there's a nice big open space up here. And then behind there will be the master bedroom. Just a few things that I'm looking at as far as expanding out here. There is room for expansion further. If I wanted to bring the house out further in this direction, I could do that. Or if I want instead, I'm sure it wouldn't be too difficult to put in a stairway going down somewhere in here. These are two closets. I'm guessing for storage. Coat check for when I have 1 million visitors over at my mansion here. And of course, yes, there is always the option of putting an elevator or something to go down below here, and then that would give me more space to work with there. There's an awful lot of hollowed spaces underneath the island. All right, but for right now, I'm going to go catch a quick nap and then get on with the next item on my list. Well, look at that. Where does all the time go? Looks like after doing a little quick editing, I am about out of it for this particular episode. So this is going to be the end of my second episode. And I hope you found that this video ended better than it started. Like I said, I'm still kind of new to this whole YouTube thing. So anything that you can put in a comment that would help me be better at what I'm doing here, that would be very much appreciated. And I'll see you in the next episode.